Number 3, Robert Sorensen.
From the main gymnasium inside of Pendleton Heights High School, you've got IHSAA boys basketball on 9-Star TV. Welcome aboard as the Pendleton Heights Arabians play host to the number 17 Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles out of Class 3A. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Jim Leisure, I'm Kurt Darling. Well, it's a tale of two teams entering this one as both started the same way, dropping their respective season openers, but still struggling to find their identity. The Arabians have gone the wrong direction, having lost all 5 of their games to start the season so far. The Golden Eagles, on the other hand, have also struggled on that same thing, but they are showing signs of figuring themselves out, and they have won their last 3 games after they're dropping their season opener. Jim Leisure obviously keeping with Guerin Catholic here. You're going to be seeing a lot tonight of one Will Grissom, who is averaging 25 points a contest. Needless to say, he is one heck of a player here for the Golden Eagles.
Well, he's definitely the guy that they're going to look to score the ball. You see the graphic there. He averages 25 a night. 2.5 assists, but they got about 8 or 7 or 8 kids that can get 5 or 6 apiece as well. You add those up, add them to Grissom's 25, you got a nice offensive night.
Indeed you do, and so far here tonight, you definitely have some good size here, but also just a lot of athleticism as well. But still, you have some youth as well from both of these squads. Both of these teams, as I've talked to both of these coaches, just still trying to figure themselves out and find who they are. Needless to say, tonight will be one step closer to doing just that. We're set to go here for some high school basketball here on 9-Star TV, and the Golden Eagles get the opening tip to start this contest.
Well, these games are great for coaches and Coach Bobby Allen and Coach Adam Ballard. Early season, non-conference, non-class. You don't have to worry about seeing these guys again. We got a foul early on here. Oh.
And now it's going to be going the other direction here. Looks like it's a 3-second call right out of the gate here for Guerin Catholic. So they come up empty on their opening possession. And now the Pendleton Heights Arabians get their first crack at the offensive end.
Well, they got to find a way to get the ball to Dunham. I mean, we did a game, John Herrick and I, earlier in the year, and they really struggled. Teams play a box and one on him.
Going right inside there and blocking it out of bounds is Aiden Cannon, who is standing all of 6'6", a junior, who is also a tight end on the football team for the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles.
Yeah, him and the 6'7" Gustin should be a great matchup to watch all night long.
Cookston driving inside and gets flushed out of there by Sorensen. And Cookston back inside. A nice bounce pass underneath to Kennitz. And it goes back outside to Gustin, who has a 3 ball, but that's just in and out of the iron.
Well, once again, Dunham's finding himself in the box and one. He's got a defender who's guarding him and guarding nobody else.
And now we see Cannon working inside and laying it in. Aiden Cannon averaging 5 points a contest, gets things going in the early going here for the Golden Eagles.
Keep your eye on number 3 and just watch as looks like Jack Cherry is checking him for Guerin Catholic. Jack's not watching the game. He has no idea where the ball is, doesn't know where the rim is, but he knows where Dunham is.
Cherry, only a sophomore, really came on strong last year for the Golden Eagles. And we have a double dribble and a turnover back to Pendleton Heights. And you're talking about Cherry right there. He doesn't really pop on the stat sheet, but he had a lot of significant playing time, especially in the second half of the season as a freshman because of his defensive prowess, says head coach Bob Allen.
Yeah, and those kind of kids are just totally invaluable. You got to have guys that can score the ball. You got to have guys that can defend. You got to have guys that can distribute the basketball.
And Cherry looking to distribute here as he gets it over to Grissom. And you're going to be seeing a lot of him tonight, but so far has been dry in the early going, and he steps on the baseline. And another turnover early here for Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, certainly not what Coach Bob Allen would like to see, but it's still early. But like you said, I think two possessions and 2 turnovers.
Candiano gives it over to Kennitz.
Candiano could be an X factor as well. He's a very athletic kid, quarterback of the football team. Struggles a little bit beyond the 3-point arc. That's not his game.
But he works inside right there, which is certainly more of it right there. And now you see Dunham for the first time tonight, and he just comes up short. Etchison with the basketball, gets it over to Sorensen. And a little high pass, but a good recovery by Cannon, and he just can't finish. But there is Grissom with the offensive rebound, and he draws the foul. And you just see a lot of Will Grissom right there, again averaging 25 points a contest. He had 33 points in the season opener against Park Tudor, which was a loss for Guerin Catholic. But they've since gone on to win 3 straight.
Shoots 72% from the line. He drains the first one.
And Grissom also shooting 52% from the field, and that's certainly a good stat right there, shooting making more than half of your shots there for the Golden Eagles.
That's a couple things. Number one, it's knowing what a good shot is and what it isn't, and just taking good shots. Guerin with a little bit of soft pressure here.
And you'll see a lot of that here tonight from Guerin as they force a lot of passes. And there's a steal just right out of the hands from Grissom. He finds it underneath to Sorensen, who lays it in. And just like that, it is a 6-0 ball game early here for Guerin Catholic. More full court press, but right down the middle of the lane goes Cookston, and he just can't finish.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better shot. I mean, you're right in front of the rim there. Maybe could have used the glass, but he was coming right down the middle. A little more difficult to use the glass there than it is on the side.
Cherry on the give and go. He gets it right back.
Pendleton trying to extend the defense out a little bit, force Guerin a little bit deeper than they want to be, but Guerin does a nice job of getting him back in where they want.
Cherry tries the teardrop from the elbow. That's just a little shy. And Pendleton Heights is quick, and now we have a timeout quickly here from Coach Adam Ballard, and he has seen enough here from this 6-0 start here from the Arabians, and a much-needed timeout to say the least.
Well, he's obviously upset about something that he saw there. One of the things that I see is just Dunham is, giving the ball up. I mean, that's your best player. I think you would want the ball to be in his hands and let him come down and try to take somebody off the dribble, create, drive the basket. If people come off on him, he can kick for open shots. I'm just a little confused as to why Dunham keeps giving the basketball up at the second he crosses the timeline.
Well, and part of that, though, might be, Jim, is the fact that this is a kind of a depleted Pendleton Heights team, and they're having Dunham actually pick up a lot of the slack from some of the other players that they don't have right now. What case in point, one of them being Ethan Ross, who's a running back for the football team here. He's still recovering from a football injury. He's one of their better forwards and point guards for this team.
And I totally understand that, but again, as a coach, I just think every time my best player has the ball in his hands, it's a better play than when he doesn't.
So out of the timeout, it gets into their best player here as Dunham will bring it back across the timeline. And Dunham dishes it off to Sims. Caden Sims, the sophomore, can't get the hook shot to fall, and another turnover.
Now the difference there, though, is, again, Dunham drove the lane and was trying to create an open three. That's much more productive than just giving it up the second you cross the timeline.
Grissom working on Sims. There's a little bit of a mismatch right there. Cannon comes away with the loose ball. And now this time Grissom's going to take it himself, and it just rattles in and out. Gets the offensive rebound. Can't still get it to fall, but he draws another one. And you can see Will Grissom is a little frustrated at the fact that he's done all of his scoring so far from the foul stripe.
Well, it certainly isn't from a lack of trying here. Does a really good job of just anticipating where the ball comes off. And this is a board-crashing squad here, this Guerin Catholic team.
And Grissom rattles that one in and out. Again, this is a Guerin Catholic team that's shooting 74% from the charity stripe as a team this season. And that was a point of emphasis last year as they were shooting far below that a year ago. And this time Grissom connects. He has 3 points, all of which are from the foul stripe.
Well, he's shooting 75% tonight from the line, so again, the pressure not real hard. I mean, it's just that kind of soft, almost trying to use some clock. I mean, it's just really not really trapping or anything, trying to create turnovers.
Sims in the corner on the mismatch there by Cannon. And he has to kick it back out to Dunham. He steps back from the elbow and still cannot get it in the rim. Loose ball rebounded, finally going down from Braden Kannitz, and he gets the and one. Needless to say, a much-needed bucket right there from the sophomore.
Well, Kannitz is a guy, he's one of those X factors. If they can get him untracked, he averages about 5 a game, but if he can get in the 8 to 10 category.
He has a season high of 12 points this season. That was in the loss to Mount Vernon just a couple of games ago as he makes the and one and finally breaking the scoring drought for the Arabians. Through the legs goes Grissom. And a no-look pass just catches the arm of Cookston and goes out of play. It is still Golden Eagle basketball.
Well, one of the good things about defensive play is if you can get your hands in the passing lane, and that's what Cookston did there. He just was able to be disruptive and knock it away.
Grissom has yet to score from the field tonight. He kicks it back outside. 3 on the way from Etchison. That is certainly what he is good at, and that is just a little too strong.
Now they're going to call a little push foul here on Cannon. We may get a look at it here. I don't know. You'll see it here. Watch him as the ball goes up.
And you see Etchison unload it there and a little bit out of the view of the camera.
Yeah, but he got him down in the lower back, just kind of pushed him a little bit.
But now that's foul number 2 on Cannon, so he's going to take a seat. And now you see the junior Lucas Parker down low, and he gets contested there by Cookston. And so just like that, a 5-0 swing here for Pendleton Heights.
Well, that time Guerin actually did come out and trap right there in the corner, and Dunham, being the player that he is, finds the open man on the block, an easy bucket. Best way to beat a press, convert layups. They'll get out of it.
Cherry dribbling in on Sims. A nice pass down low to Parker, but it looked like he traveled just a little bit there as he went there. A nice pass there from Cherry, just couldn't quite finish it there with Parker.
Yeah, I think when Parker caught it, he wasn't sure exactly what he was going to do with it. Do I go up here? Do I put it on the floor? Do I move? And then while he was moving and thinking, he forgot to lay it on the floor.
The Arabians have a little bit of rhythm here on offense, but you see that stingy defense from Cherry as Candiano has to get rid of it, as does Dunham. Sims splits the defenders, and it's picked up there by Sorensen in transition. Drives right in on the defender. They're going to call an offensive foul right there. That's a pretty good call by the official, as you could see Sorensen lowering his shoulder right into the chest there of Candiano.
Yeah, there was a time, Kurt, when a lot of times if the guy wasn't 100% set, an official would not give you that call. Nowadays, with kids dropping their shoulders, it's a pretty easy call. That's just the way it's officiated.
So back and forth we go here as both teams are coming up empty on their last couple possessions. Sims gives it to Dunham, and he gets double-teamed down low, and they're going to get Cherry for a hand check right there across the arm.
Yeah, you see a lot of really good players who like to create contact as they go to the rim. They kind of lean in, and they kind of create the contact, finish at the rim, get the layup. You're going to see the foul here. Cherry comes in, just swats him, just hooks him right on the arm there. But again, when you drop the shoulder and blast into somebody, that's a little bit different than creating contact.
Candiano underneath, blocked there from behind by Will Grissom, who seems to be doing it all here tonight. And Etchison screams down the lane and can't get it to finish, but draws a foul.
I think they're going to say it's on the floor here, all the way out there by the three-point line was where the first contact was made.
They're going to get Caden Sims for his first. And so that's Caden Sims' second foul of the night.
I had it as 2, but my book is seldom, if ever, correct.
The scoreboard's certainly giving him 2 fouls, and so we will give him 2 fouls.
Well, there's a first time for everything. My book may be right once.
Grissom, being ever the distributor tonight, gets it out to Chandler, who's into the game for the first time tonight, and he's just a little short. Long pass down the other side, and Canitz has been the saving grace here tonight here for Pendleton as he knots it up. It's still a 7-0 run here by Pendleton.
Well, he's got his average there, and again, he's a guy that could be a difference maker if you can get him hot. Then that opens up things for Dunham and other players.
Cherry for 3 in the corner. Again right there is Grissom for the putback. Timeout called by Coach Bob Allen as he probably tries to get things regrouped as they have momentum there off of that one. Take a look at this one again here from Grissom.
One of the things I've noticed about Grissom right off the top is he's so good at anticipating and going to the basket on shots. Again, we talked about it. They are a board-crashing squad. They average about 28 rebounds per game. I would imagine a good handful of those are offensive boards, giving them second chances. But Grissom specifically seems to have a knack for coming up with rebounds.
And believe it or not, that's his first field goal of the night. He had 3 points at the charity stripe and now has his first 2 right there from the field as you get a look at Coach Bob Allen, again in his 4th year as the head coach of the Golden Eagles, 52-24 in that span, but he's 108-98 in its 10th year overall as a head coach. He coached at Knightstown beforehand, where he built up a really good program there before moving on.
Now Guerin's going to extend. Well, I thought they were going to extend the press, but now they're not. They're dropping out.
So 1 minute to go here in the opening quarter. Long corner three from Cookston, and that is just off to the right. And the rebound falls into the hands of Cherry. And he brings it right down. Spin move inside, dishes it underneath, back outside. Chandler has it. And Guerin continues with the offense. Etchison wants to shoot it, but thinks better of it here with Dunham going one-on-one with him. Instead, Patrick loads it up for three, and that is still off the mark. Neither team has shot well from behind the arc tonight. Candiano tries to spin, but poking it away is Chandler. And once again, the Arabians reset the offense.
I was really expecting him maybe to call a timeout there. You know, you get 5.5, and we're almost through the first quarter. That still would have left them with 3 in the other, the rest of the half. But very wisely gave it up to a teammate.
Three ball from Dunham, long, doesn't go. Rebound to Grissom, 1 second left, pulls up from midcourt, and that is off of the backboard and no good. It is a 9-7 advantage for Guerin Catholic at the end of quarter number 1 here on 9 Star TV.
At 9 Star Connect, our history spans back to the late 1800s, where family time, building livelihoods and neighborhoods, sharing stories of the day, and looking forward to chasing new dreams were important to all of us. Today, 9 Star still values these things. That's why we have a local 24/7, 365 support center. We are still here for you, as it's been for the past 125 years. At 9 Star Connect, we're a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
First quarter stats for you there, Kurt.
Starting quarter number 2 here on 9 Star TV. It is 9-7 in favor of Guerin Catholic. Alongside Jim Leisure, I'm Kurt Darling. Well, Jim, Guerin Catholic got off to a pretty hot start, but Pendleton Heights, again, still working on figuring out who they are. They did a pretty good job, and even though it was a little clunky, they kept it interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say credit the young Arabian squad, because they're clearly still in this, a 9-7 basketball game. But, yeah, I mean, one of the ways that you win games, and I would think that most people would agree, Pendleton's probably the underdog here today. Last year when these two teams met, Guerin won 80-44, the youth of Pendleton being what it is. So hang around, man. Just hang around, and who knows, at the end you might find yourself in position to win.
So Pendleton starts quarter number 2 with the basketball. And it's poked out of bounds there by Guerin, and that's Chandler. Again, one of 3 transfer players in here for this Guerin Catholic squad. Coach Bob Allen said that, that's part of who they are, of trying to figure out who they are, because they're still getting to know each other, even though they got to know each other a little bit during summer ball. There's Joe Gustin. Inside to Canitz. He's been on fire tonight, and he keeps the Flames going as he now has 7 points.
Whatever Coach Adam Ballard said to Canitz, he needs to say it some more and keep saying it, because he looks really good.
Grissom pulls up from just inside the wing and is short. So Will Grissom, again averaging 25 a night, is struggling a little bit here this evening as Candiano spins it inside. Cookston has a lane along the baseline, and he gets it off the glass.
Cookston doing it on both sides of the floor. He had a great block out on Grissom last time. Again, Grissom shot it. Cookston turned around, got his body on him, said, "You're not getting an offensive rebound on this one."
First lead of the ball game here for the Arabians. And there's a spin-around jumper from Parker. That is again off the mark. Guerin really struggling to find a shot right now. They have only made 1 shot in the last 3 or 4 minutes or so, dating back to the first quarter. Dunham has Canitz inside. Nice delay, can't finish. In the corner, Chandler for 3. Still way off target.
And another good block out by
and right down the middle of the lane goes Gustin. The sophomore standing 6'7", using his size and his speed.
Yeah, really more of a wing player, but because of the lack of any other size for Pendleton, is asked to play inside a little bit more than probably normal.
Grissom kicking it back out. 3 ball from Parker, and he hits. First 3-pointer of the night for either team, and needless to say, that was a well-timed 3-pointer there, as the Golden Eagles certainly needed it. Dunham. He has yet to score this evening. Cookston nearly gets it poked away, but they're going to call a reach-in foul there on Chandler. And so that's going to be his first and the fifth on the Golden Eagles as we see a few substitutions. Here's some young substitutions. Let's take a look at the replay here. But first we get a look at the substitutions as Josh Holba coming in here. He's only a sophomore, standing 6'3", but has a little bit of meat down low here for the Golden Eagles. And a foul before the inbound. So they're going to get Parker with his first, and that's the sixth foul now on Guerin Catholic. Jamison Dunham finds Souders into the corner. Cookston for three, too long, and Holba comes away with the rebound.
Pendleton's doing a nice job of moving the basketball and getting good shots. They're just simply not hitting them. And that's something that Coach Ballard and his staff, as they go forward throughout the season, they got to find a way to get some of these young men to get a little more proficient from the field.
Cherry wants to shoot it, but Cookston with some very sticky defense on him. Sorensen looking inside to Holba, gets disrupted, kicks it back out. Etchison fakes, pulls up from inside, still a little strong. And Dunham right into the lane, and he gets fouled there by Holba. You can see a little frustration here tonight here from Jamison Dunham, again averaging 14 points a contest. He's their leading man, and he has yet to get into the stat sheet tonight.
Well, one way he can do it is at this line here. Again, he's a slasher, he's a driver, but he's also a creator. He can, again, take it to the rim. If nobody picks you up, finish at the rim. If they pick you up, again, if you want to try to finish, hopefully draw the foul. If you can't draw the foul, kick it out for an easy three or an easy two.
And Jamison Dunham, the younger brother of Butler Bulldogs great Kellen Dunham, who spent 4 great years there in Indianapolis. And Dunham goes 1 of 2 there. Still a 14-12 advantage for Pendleton Heights. Bounce pass inside to Holba. He cannot finish. That is now probably the 8th or 9th missed shot in a row here for Guerin Catholic. Cookston double teamed.
Well, that was about as pretty a pick and roll as you'll see.
Just couldn't finish.
Yep, just could not finish at the rim.
Gustin holding the ball out top. He'll certainly play out there despite his size. Leaving it for Dunham. Through the legs, pulls up with the teardrop, and he can't finish. Gets his own rebound, spins inside, and finishes.
Fantastic body control there. He was doing everything in his power to draw a foul. Didn't get the foul, but got the bucket.
Talk about some commitment there, too, by the senior guard. Etchison up top now to Parker for 3, and he is well short. Holba has to save it, but it comes into the hands of Dunham. And he gets around Grissom, kicking it back out to Cookston. Round along the baseline, trying to finish there is Gustin, and he cannot do it.
Well, he tried a very athletic move as well. Good body control, tried the rim or the backboard, but just couldn't get it.
Look at that pass there from Grissom, and Etchison just couldn't finish it. That was a pass in traffic by maybe 3 or 4 guys from Grissom to find Etchison, and he just couldn't finish it.
Now, in that play here, as the ball goes out of bounds, I really thought that you're going to see this Dunham play again. Watch how much he just kind of twists and turns and uses every ounce of his jump there, every inch of his vertical.
Even putting the ball on the floor once through all of that sequence. Grissom lurking inside, still cannot connect, can the Golden Eagles.
Good help defense by Candiano over there, came over there and just challenged the shot, altered it just enough.
Guerin Catholic has only made 1 shot this entire quarter. It was a 3-pointer from Lucas Parker. Cookston leaves it for Candiano, and he can't split the defenders. Patrick Baird going one-on-one here with Gustin, and he lays it off the glass.
His first bucket of the night.
And the first 2-point bucket of this half, or this quarter rather, for the Golden Eagles. Candiano, nice feed inside to Gustin, who finishes.
Gustin can do it both. I mean, he can play inside, he can play outside. Really good positioning there. Nice entry pass. Always a little risky when you go over the top, but it was there.
Baird can't keep his feet beneath him. Around the horn to Sorensen. Into the corner, Etchison. He had an opening, didn't take it. Instead, it's outside to Ty Sanders, who drives inside and draws the blocking foul.
Yeah, defense was just a little bit late. Cookston there. We'll probably get a decent replay here. Just a little bit late sliding over. You're going to see it. Yeah, and then just kind of tried to steal one there.
And so Cookston picks up foul number 1. That's only the 4th of the half here for Pendleton Heights. That's certainly something they've been very good at here and when it comes to foul trouble. Meanwhile, Ty Sanders can't connect on that opening free throw.
You know, when a defender slides over and there's just minimal contact and he falls down like he's been shot, a lot of times the officials, I mean, they're not going to give you. It's kind of like when football and blocking when the guy clearly then throws their hands up to say, I didn't do it.
What a putback right there. And that's Will Grissom recovering off of the missed free throws there from Sanders. So Guerin still comes away with something there.
Grissom averages about 6 rebounds a game. Nice
Fadeaway jumper by Josiah Gustin. He has 6 points in this quarter.
Be huge if Pendleton could get him untracked and in a rhythm. But I got to believe that a lot of those 25 points that Grissom gets is because he hustles and gets rebounds and gets those putbacks.
Sanders has Chandler. He drives into the lane, puts up the floater, maybe a little contested there. Baird with the putback off of the offensive board. And we've got a whistle. Looks like Cookston took an elbow to the chin, an inadvertent elbow to the chin right there, and he's going to have to come off the floor.
For the Ravens, number 21, Braden.
Take a look at this shot here from Patrick Baird. Just getting it off the offensive rebound, and a nice little putback. Keeps it close here as we're now 20-18 with 1 minute to go in the half. Dunham. Nice bounce pass underneath to Canitz. He tries to split the defenders. Instead, he draws a foul there. Looks like they may ding Grissom this time. And indeed they will.
Foul call number 12, Will Grissom, his first.
Canitz again making himself a factor in this basketball game. He was the last game John Herrick and I did a couple days ago against LaPel. Honestly, he wasn't much of a factor.
Canitz with 7 points tonight, still staying there at the moment as he misses that first one.
67% from the line this year. He's hit 8. Looking for his 9th free throw in this young season.
And he still can't do it.
That would have been a good possession for Pendleton to get something, even one, but they get nothing.
Guerin with a chance to either tie or take the lead here. Parker, wide open inside, blocked by Gustin. What a play there by the sophomore. Dunham comes inside off the Euro step. He can't finish. Guerin comes away with it. Etchison pulling up in transition. He's short. 20 seconds to go in the half. Candiano along the baseline, bounce pass underneath to Canitz. And Pendleton Heights has come alive in this ball game. 3 seconds left and a foul as Etchison was going right to the rim. It's going to be against Pendleton Heights, and it'll be against Dunham.
Just got a little bit too much of the body here, so Guerin gets the ball on the side. I wonder why they were taking that underneath. They should have got it on the side, and they will. 2.2 seconds. They're going to sub real quick.
And it's going to be Cannon coming back in. Again, he has 2 fouls as well as Holba. So Coach Allen certainly going large here in the latter 2 seconds of this half.
Get the impression they're going to try to go inside?
No, not at all.
They're like, hey, you 2 tall kids. I can't remember your name. Get in the game.
So a lot of meat down low here for Guerin Catholic. Baird puts it inside. Grissom for a long three at the buzzer. It does not fall. And with that, at halftime, Guerin Catholic finds themselves in a hole as they are down 4 points, 22-18 to the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Alongside Jim Leisure, I'm Kurt Darling. You're watching IHSAA boys basketball action here on 9 Star TV.
9 Star Energy customers are on a real-time pricing electric rate plan. The main difference with a real-time pricing rate plan is that when you use electricity is just as important as how much electricity you use. The cost to deliver power is changing. Real-time pricing is broken into 2 pricing periods, on-peak and off-peak. You will benefit from lower electricity pricing during most times of the day when energy demand is lower. And electricity prices will be higher from 4 to 8 p.m. when demand for electricity is generally higher. If you can make small changes, like running the dishwasher or doing laundry during lower priced times of the day, you may be able to benefit from your real-time pricing rate plan. To learn more, visit 9starconnect.com.
Second half about to get underway here on 9 Star TV alongside Jim Leisure. I'm Kurt Darling. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight as we have certainly a good matchup here. And, of course, going into the second half here, it's Pendleton Heights on top, which is, I guess, for lack of a better word, a little bit of a surprise given the fact that Guerin Catholic, they're 17th in the state here in Class 3A. What does Guerin Catholic have to do to get back on top of this one here in the second half?
I was really surprised when I looked at the halftime stats, Kurt, because Guerin has shot 11 three-pointers. It didn't seem to me like it was that many, and they're 1 for 11, so they got to hit shots. They've had lots and lots of good looks, lots and lots of open looks. They've had open looks in the paint. They've gotten the ball inside many, many times, and they just haven't converted. They got to shoot the basketball better. But if you're Pendleton Heights, man, talk about something you can build on, momentum and all that stuff. Coach Ballard has to be pleased with what he saw in that first half.
And how about the emergence of Braden Canitz in that first half? 9 points to lead all scorers. Keep in mind, this is a player that's only averaging about 5 a contest. He really came on strong in that first half.
Well, we talked about, how there's Pendleton searching for their identity. They need to find some players to assist Dunham. Dunham cannot do it all. He's got to have somebody that when teams collapse on him that he can dish it off to.
So Guerin Catholic starts the second half with the basketball as Etchison has it outside to Sorensen. He puts the floater up, and they finally get one to fall to the Golden Eagles. And that was something, Jim Leisure, we talked about. They could not buy a shot in that second quarter.
Yeah, I like the pretty shot, though. Again, you don't see that a lot in nowadays high school basketball. Everyone's shooting threes and doing different things. A nice guy that can go in the lane and just hit a floater is a nice weapon to have.
Josiah Gustin, again, also had a really good first half, 6 points in that second quarter. And Cookston, who took an elbow to the face earlier, is back in the ball game as well. Candiano, not exactly what he does, but he certainly makes it happen right there. Luke Candiano for 3.
Well, and again, although he's not shot pointers well this year, if you could get him untracked behind the arc, that would be huge for Pendleton.
Second made 3 ball by the Arabians in this one. Cannon inside off of the dish from Cherry. He can't finish, gets his own rebound, and makes sure it goes down that time.
Using every bit of that size there to get the offensive board and get the putback.
Cannon averaging just shy of 5 rebounds a contest as the ball goes out of play off of the foot of Pendleton Heights, and it's Guerin Catholic basketball.
Yeah, it looked like Cherry reached in there and just knocked it loose, and it must, like you said, hit the knee or the leg of the Pendleton player, and out of bounds. First turnover of the half for Pendleton Heights.
Only 4 turnovers all game long so far for Guerin Catholic. That's the 6th turnover for Pendleton Heights as Cannon is fed inside again by Cherry. They seem to have a really good connection right there, Cherry and Aiden Cannon down low.
Well, and that's, again, one of those obvious halftime adjustments. Coach Allen went in and said, guys, we're leaving points on the board. We're going to go out and we're going to try to do this. Very close to a carry.
Cannon playing with 2 fouls, working on Canitz. Canitz tries to slip it by him. That time he can't connect. Cherry, quick in transition, right down the lane, blocked out of bounds by Gustin, and it will remain with the Golden Eagles.
Well, Gustin's got those long arms, man. He's 6'7", so that's a great starting point. But he's also, you're going to see it here, just lots of length on his arms, and this shot had no chance.
Front row looker at it right there by our sideline cameras. As Cherry bounces it into Cannon, he's able to corral it in traffic and lay it in. So 6 straight points here by Aiden Cannon, along with a big bucket by Sorensen. Has an 8-3 advantage here in this third quarter for Guerin.
All 3 of them were just 2-footers, so Pendleton's going to have to front him. May have to have 2 defenders, one behind and one in front.
Gustin spins around off of the corral there, and he's able to knock that one down.
Catches the basketball, ready to shoot. Caught the ball, his feet were already set, his shoulders were turning. Got to the top of his jump and just laid it in.
Cherry again, this time feeding Grissom down low. He splits the defenders, tries to find Cannon. He comes away with the steal, puts it up, tries to draw the foul, doesn't get it. It's punched out of bounds off of Cannon, and it is Arabian ball. You got to like the hustle there from the sophomore and Aiden Cannon.
Yeah, he's came out in the second half, like I said, just kind of a renewed man, so we'll see if Pendleton has a defensive answer for that.
And correction, Aiden Cannon's a senior, not a sophomore. As Dunham unloads for three. Finally, Jamison Dunham gets on the board from behind the arc.
You leave him open and let him just, he shot that one really from his waist. Brought it all the way down, just followed through.
And he wasn't even all that open on that one. Etchison has Cannon up top. Grissom gets it up top again. Sorensen for three, and he rattles that one home. So both of these teams couldn't even buy a three-pointer in the first half. There have now been 4 in this second half. And now a steal by Cherry. Etchison gets it back to Cherry only briefly, and a little bit of a miscommunication off the steal. Gustin has an opening in the corner, and he drains a three. And now that is the 4th three-pointer of this half.
Josiah feeling it. He was the young man that Coach Allen took out of the ballgame the first quarter.
As Will Grissom can't connect. But the offensive rebound by Cherry. Grissom this time takes it inside, splits it off the glass, gets his own rebound, and he gets it to go. Timeout called by Coach Bob Allen of Guerin Catholic. And so, where has this offense been all night here, Jim?
It's going to be a 30, so we'll stay here. But again, we've said this twice. Grissom gets his own rebound and puts it back in. And then when you're averaging 25 a night, you're probably getting 8 or 10 just like that, what you saw there on the replay.
Now he's coming off of only a 14-point performance against Muncie Central. As you take a look there at Coach Adam Ballard, again in his second year as the head coach of Pendleton Heights. Look at this three-pointer from Dunham.
And you're exactly right, Kurt. He wasn't real open, but that shot, though, looked so smooth. He shot one earlier in the game where, he was guarded similarly, where he just seemed to rush it. And that time there, he just took his time. And, there was a defender in my face. I really don't care. Nice and smooth, great follow-through. And, man, if you can get him with that kind of confidence and that kind of smoothness, that'd be a big deal for Pendleton.
So Dunham now has 6 points off of that three-pointer. As you see Guerin kind of extending the press a little bit here now out of the timeout. But Euro step right down the lane goes Sims, and he draws a foul. And so they're going to get Patrick Baird on that one. And that is the first of the half on Guerin. And so now we see Caden Sims at the line for the first time tonight. He was a first-year starter as a wide receiver for this Pendleton Heights football team this year, and he certainly came on strong. Again, it was a young football team for Pendleton Heights as it is a basketball team here. And so Sims goes 1 of 2.
Kurt, you talk about just being young all across. It seems like, again, in public schools especially, sometimes you just get an ebb and flow of talent. And, you get a class that just does not have a bunch of athletes, and so there's that hole. It appears to be maybe the junior class here at Pendleton. No juniors on the varsity basketball roster. I don't know how many were on the football roster. But it's funny how it works that way.
Jack Cherry up top to Sanders. Now Sorensen. Off of the little give and go there, Sorensen now has Sanders inside, and he gets blocked away.
Most important thing about that block is that Gustin kept it in play.
Dunham inside, and he lays it in. And Jamison Dunham starting to get his rhythm a little bit here.
Now, Gustin likes those big flashy blocks that end up 6 rows in the bleachers, but those don't do you any good.
And no shot there as Grissom is going to get called for the carry going right there on that basket. And so, Jim, you talk about that, you talk about the ebb and flow of certain cultures and programs and stuff like that, and team culture is actually kind of a sticking point here for Coach Adam Ballard in Pendleton Heights, given the fact that he came from a smaller school at Covington, now here at Pendleton Heights. He said it's kind of tougher in bigger schools to build that team culture that he likes. Cannett's inside and lays it in.
Yeah, at smaller schools, oftentimes those kids, they go to school together from first grade up. There's not a bunch of kids in their class. They get to know each other well. Larger schools like Pendleton, again, there could be different groups, different cliques, if you want to use that word, and I don't mean it in a negative way. It's just that kids have many more options in terms of friends and groups and that kind of thing.
Sanders pulls up just a little short. Inside of 2 minutes now. And Pendleton Heights has not surrendered the lead since early in the second quarter. And this Guerin squad certainly on their heels here as you see a nice power move inside by Candiano, but just a little short there on that layup. Cherry works inside. You've got to like the hustle of this sophomore player as Sanders plays cleanup.
Sanders' first bucket of the night. Comes at a very, very important time.
Largest lead of the ball game has been 7 points.
Jack Cherry's going to get called for his third here. Just a little bit too much of a body. Just a little out of control.
And so he'll likely take a seat as you see again the putback there by Sanders. A nice awareness there from the junior. And so Cherry takes a seat. You see Etchison back in the ball game here for the Golden Eagles. Candiano. Back to Knitz. And Gustin loses the handle. And it's a loose ball down low, and they call a jump ball. And the arrow will be favoring the Arabians, as you see Chandler back in.
That's the first held ball since the opening tip, so yeah. Opening tip was controlled by Guerin Catholic, and we haven't had one since, so.
And so now you just see Pendleton Heights really just keeping their composure here. One thing that Coach Ballard has said that they struggle with now is closing out games, and you're starting to get to that point here, Jim, where you got to start thinking about finishing it out.
Yeah, every possession becomes huge. You're not in any real hurry. You got a 6-point lead, so there's no shot clock.
Dunham taking his time.
You don't have to take the air out of it. No one's saying you got to hold the ball necessarily. You just got to make smart decisions.
Souders in the corner, puts it off the glass, and a dunk put back by Gustin! What a play by the 6'7" sophomore!
Well, it's as if he saw that coming. It's as if he just saw that whole thing developing. He started moving to the lane. Ball came off the rim, and he just flushed it down.
What a play there. He now has 7 points in this quarter, 13 total on the night.
Whatever Coach Allen or Ballard said to him in the first quarter seems to have worked.
Parker pulls back and makes that shot fall. 2 seconds left. Dunham steps back for three, and that's just off of the mark. And with that, Pendleton Heights keeps the lead at a 6-point advantage going to quarter number 4 here on 9 Star TV.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by 9 Star Connect, your water and sewer provider.
The drums are certainly banging here tonight for Pendleton Heights, and rightfully so, because their drum has been beating all night long, especially over the last quarter and a half, as the Pendleton Heights Arabians have a 6-point advantage off of big plays here from Josiah Gustin with the big slam, as you see, to end the third quarter. Alongside Jim Leisure, I'm Kurt Darling. Jim, going to quarter number 4 here. If at Pendleton Heights, they need to try and finish it out. That's one thing they've struggled with this season, so needless to say, they have a huge opportunity to try and prove themselves wrong here.
Well, this is where that leadership, it doesn't even have to be senior leadership. It can be a sophomore like Gustin. It can be, the senior like Dunham. It can be another sophomore like Candace, but somebody just needs to take control of this thing as we see that big dunk there. If I didn't know any better, I'd think they set that up.
And so leading all scorers now is Josiah Gustin with 13 points on the night. As Guerin has the ball to start the fourth quarter, and Sorensen with a big corner 3 to get things going. And that's his 10th point of the evening.
Yeah, we talked about it in pregame here. This is Mainly Grissom with 25 and a whole bunch of other people with 5 or 6.
Trying to answer is Dunham, and he does so. And Jamison Dunham with 11 points. Still a 6-point advantage for the Arabians. And Guerin Catholic kind of getting backed into a corner here as Sorensen gets the lay-in to go and draws the end one.
It's funny today, Kurt, it seems like every quarter a new guy just steps up and just pops up and hits 2 or 3 buckets in a row.
And
fourth quarter apparently is Sorensen's quarter.
And Sorensen can't convert the old-fashioned three-point play. But Sorensen, 10 points tonight. He's only averaging about 7 per contest. He's matched his season high, which was back in the win against Muncie Central. Dunham works into the lane. And now Gustin with it. Again, he knows how to play it outside despite his size. He leaves it for Dunham. He has an opening, and he takes it. Back-to-back threes by Jamison Dunham.
Dunham says, you know, Mr. Sorensen, you got nothing on me, man. Give me the ball.
Working inside now to Parker. Outside to Baird. Baird with an opening. Now Parker for 3. And that's off the mark. Still a good rebound here by Sorensen. Etchison again wants to pull the trigger but thinks better of it.
Just a hustle rebound there by Sorensen.
Cannon, double team. Blocked away there by Gustin. And a timeout called by Guerin Catholic. Needless to say, a much-needed timeout. It's a full timeout taken by Guerin Catholic. They have 2 of those remaining. What about the play of Josiah Gustin, as you see right here, just setting up this open 3 from Dunham?
Well, nobody's near him. Again, you gotta be a little closer to Jamison Dunham than that. And then on the other end, they're doing a nice job of taking Cannon away. They double team him early in the half. He was getting the ball down on the block. He was scoring at will. And Coach Ballard has decided that, you know, we're going to double team him down there in the paint.
And so the Arabians have matched their largest lead of the night here at 7 points right now. And just continuing to talk here about Guerin Catholic, as you see Bob Allen circling up a strategy here. You know, one thing that they've certainly struggled with is shooting the ball, especially last year. They have been able to get open shots tonight, but a lot of them just have not been able to fall. And one player who's certainly off his game tonight when it comes to a scoring perspective is Will Grissom, who is averaging, again, 25 a contest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought Elvis came in the building.
Yeah, I was going to say that was kind of unexpected.
Yeah, if you've ever listened to those old tapes, man, when the Ed Sullivan Show, when they'd introduce him, you couldn't hear nothing. It was just a din of screams. That's what that was. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Sounded like it came from the Guerin camp here, maybe trying to scream some life into their players here as Grissom off of the bench comes right around and gets it to fall out of the timeout.
Can't keep him down. You know, you can contain him a little bit, but he's going to get his shots, and he's going to find a way to score, and he did there.
So Guerin cuts it to 5. Euro step inside by Dunham. Tries to draw the foul. Loose ball corralled by Etchison. Chandler comes in stride, and there's another offensive foul. That's the second one tonight, drawn by Luke Candiano in the exact same scenario.
Well, he's just such a heady player, quarterback of the football team, smart kid. You're going to see it come right down into your living room there, and he knows exactly. I mean, he crossed the PH, and he knew what he was going to do, and he was able to pull it off.
And you see Cammie Chandler kind of hobbling off the court there after running into Candiano, and so he takes a seat.
Obviously, at this point, 5-point ball game, 5.5 minutes to play in the game. Every possession is huge. You can't have empty possessions here. If you're Pendleton Heights, you got to get something.
So Candiano taking it up the floor now. 5.5 minutes left in this one. Gustin dribbles once. Outside, Candiano for 3 again. This time he leaves it short, and the rebound stolen away by Parker.
Candiano tried to get that rebound, tried to just knock it loose.
Grissom along the baseline and lays it in. Cuts it to 3. And now a steal back the other end. Grissom goes up, gets it to go there. He couldn't quite get the elevation to dunk it, but needless to say, a 6-0 run fueled entirely by Will Grissom, and a timeout called conveniently there by Pendleton.
Yeah, definitely you can feel the momentum there, and Coach Bauer has to refocus his kids. And you see the replay here, just couldn't quite get his steps. There was a little bit of a defense, I guess, if you could, by Cookston. May have altered that a little bit as well.
But I mentioned earlier, Will Grissom, 9 points in those first 3 quarters, now has 6 in this quarter alone. All 6 of those coming consecutively, as that was the third of the 3 consecutive shots. You see our cameraman take a little bit of a hit right there down low. But needless to say, now your Pendleton Heights, you see Will Grissom kind of getting his footing underneath here, but a lot of that comes from that press that you see from Guerin Catholic a lot, and you'd certainly mentioned that earlier. But first, before we go any further, be sure to tune in here on Saturday at 2 p.m. as we'll be having New Palestine and Newcastle here on 9 Star TV, December 18th. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, John Herrick and you, Jim Leisure, on the call for that one here tomorrow.
You know what? They've looked and they've searched the world over. They just can't find anybody else to do it. I mean, there's plenty of people better, but they can't find anybody willing to do it. So they keep calling me, and I'm very, very appreciative that they do.
Of course, I keep thinking today's Friday. That's actually on Saturday. Today's Tuesday. Needless to say, you can catch that game right here on 9 Star TV. Tip-off at 2 p.m.
Always cool to go into Newcastle Chrysler Fieldhouse. I mean, I guess now, again, there for a year or two, it was not the largest gym in the world, and a high school gym. But now they've added those. I guess there were some temporary seats that they took out a long time ago, never put them back. Now they're back.
Candiano going right down there against Grissom, and they're going to get Grissom for a foul. And this will put Candiano at the line for 2 crucial free throws.
Well, it looked to me like he did everything right. He's got his feet on the ground. Well, he is leaning forward. See that 45-degree lean there? And again, Candiano drew the contact. And he wasn't straight up. The coach is talking to the official, said he's standing straight, but he wasn't. He was leaning forward.
So it's 2 foul shots here for Candiano as he knocks down the first one. Again, Pendleton Heights trying to do whatever they can to keep Guerin Catholic at an arm's length here. And Candiano shooting 64% on the season. And he goes 50% there on that trip. Guerin again trying to take the lead. They have not led since early in the second quarter. Etchison has to get rid of it, finds Parker. Back up to Cherry.
Nolan Salver's doing a really good job on Grissom, keeping him just fronting the ball, just that old boxing one again. Souders isn't watching the game. He doesn't know where the ball is.
Guerin waiting for their opening. Sorensen thinks he has it. Instead, it's a little short and goes out of play.
Yeah, ball off Gustin there. He went up there and I think tried to grab it in the air and just was not able to corral it, and good call by the official.
So Guerin has a chance to reset the offense here as we approach the 4-minute mark. Grissom gets the inbound, goes around and blocked away again by Gustin. That's his third block tonight. And he has certainly been showing how versatile he can be.
Yeah, I actually don't have it in front of me. I saw it earlier today when I was looking through Max Preps. He gets about 3 or 4 blocks a night.
And so right on that average, as Grissom is double-teamed and is going to get fouled there. It looks like they may get Souders with it.
Yep, just reach it in. I mean, and you'll see it again if we can get a replay of that. It's one thing to defend a guy, but see how Souders takes his hands and reaches in and ties him up.
And there's Grissom underneath and draws the end one off of the inbound. That is now 8 straight points for Will Grissom in this quarter, and that ties the ball game.
Well, you just got a feeling that they just can't keep that kid down. He's done a nice job, though, today of when he don't have the shot of getting it out to somebody who does. They just haven't hit him.
And a big free throw made by Grissom gives Guerin Catholic the lead back for the first time since the second quarter. Now the question is, can they contain it? Candiano underneath to Knitz. Off the double team, can't finish. Grissom streaking down the floor and is fouled.
Well, Knitz found himself just under the bucket too much. I mean, he ideally would have liked to have been out on the block where he could use the glass, and he found himself literally underneath the rim, and that's a tough position to be in.
And so Caden Sims checking into the ball game here for Souders. Again, two players equal in stature. But once again, the Arabians getting punched right back here by the Golden Eagles late. Nice pass outside. Parker for a big three for the Golden Eagles. Second three ball of the night for Lucas Parker. And is now a 4-point advantage for the Golden Eagles.
We talked about it, Kurt, at the beginning of the game, how important this game is. You want a good game if you're both coaches. This has certainly been a good ball game.
And a miscue as the ball sails out of bounds from Candiano.
Again, Guerin, a 3A school, Pendleton, a 4A school. You're not going to see these teams in the sectional. But you want a good game. There's that bomb from about 4 feet behind the line.
Nice shot there from Parker. Again, his second three ball of the night. Guerin Catholic, number 17 in Class 3A, coming into this contest. They've won their last 3 in a row after dropping their season opener to Park Tudor. Baird leaves it for Grissom. Grissom off of the give and go, gets it back to Baird. And going back and forth, Grissom underneath. Three on the way from Sorensen. Just a little bit off. Offensive rebound, gets into the steal to Sims. Dunham goes the length of the floor and lays it in.
Good job of looking down the floor. Every time you get a situation like that, you got to look up first. Look up, look up. If there's somebody ahead of you, give it up, and he did. Easy bucket.
Pendleton Heights keeping things close. They led for the majority of this game in the second and third quarters. Now Guerin Catholic has it back at the moment.
Just under 2 minutes, Kurt.
Parker splits inside, blocked from behind by Gustin. That's block number 4 for him. All ball as Dunham goes back the other way. Can't go, gets the offensive rebound, and the jump ball is called, and the arrow favors the Arabians.
Again, I don't know that they switched the arrow the last time. I think that's the second. I mean, that is just the second held ball.
The arrow is pointing to the Arabians.
I see that. I just think it should be going toward Guerin Catholic.
And yeah, and they're going to be. And so Guerin Catholic has called a full timeout here, and there looks like they're going to keep the possession arrow the way that it is here, Jim.
Okay.
And
I saw again the opening tip went to Guerin.
Absolutely,
then there was a
absolutely.
held ball down here on this end, and that one went to Pendleton. I don't recall. Well, no, the fourth quarter. Yeah, the fourth quarter.
Then that would be it.
Yeah. No, so it is correct. Yeah, Guerin got the ball to open the fourth quarter. That's the one you always forget about
the change. Yes.
Yeah, the quarter change, or at least I do. I think held balls. No, they're right.
And so now the arrow points to Guerin Catholic. So the next held ball will go to the Golden Eagles. But how about this comeback here for Guerin Catholic to keep their poise? But also now again we're getting back to that talking point of Pendleton Heights. They have the lead. They have a good game going. Now they're just having trouble closing things out.
Well, part of the reason is because Guerin's a pretty good basketball team. I think if you're playing somebody that's not quite as talented as Guerin Catholic is, you probably could have closed them out. But they're a pretty good basketball team, and they didn't come here, just to eat their lunch. They came here to win a basketball game on a Tuesday night. So, it's still good stuff, though. I'm telling you, even if Pendleton loses, Coach Ballard and his staff, I'm telling you, Kurt, they're a heck of a lot better tonight than they were a week ago when I saw them. A week ago when I saw them, I was like, oh, my, this may not be good. But they've done really a good job. They can build on this. It's a long season. At the end of the day, again, this game really doesn't mean anything. It's not a conference game. It's not a sectional game, a sectional opponent. It's not even a class opponent.
Knitz off of the inbound ties the game back up. And so Braden Knitz had a heck of a first half. Been mostly quiet this second half here. Finally lights back up the Flames again.
This has been so much good stuff today on Pendleton.
Off the steal, Caden Sims, uncontested, gets the lead back for the Arabians. Timeout called by Pendleton Heights. And that'll be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, coaches just want to set up his defense, make sure everybody knows what's going on, guys. We got a 2-point lead. You see the replay there, nice steal, finishes with the left hand on the left side, which is what you want. Again, you got timeouts, you might as well use them. You know, you don't want to take them in the locker room with you. Make sure, this is a young team. Make sure they know where they're supposed to be. If you got a timeout, use it and make sure they know what they're doing.
Take a look at some more play down low here off this inbound to Knitz. Just good presence of mind down low to split the defenders.
Yeah, it was almost as if Etchison, the defender there, thought he was going to come back to his left with like some kind of shot fake or something. Etchison actually went left toward the 10-second line, and Knitz was going to the basket.
And so you mentioned the toughness of the schedule here, Jim Leisure. This is the final home game for Pendleton Heights of the year of 2021. They will not be back inside of this gymnasium for the next 5 weeks. They will be going on the road to the Warsaw Classic. Then they have neutral court opponents against Bishop Dwenger of Fort Wayne, South Bend, Washington. And then, of course, they go to the Madison County Tournament. And then they have New Pal and Shelbyville both on the road. They will not be back here until January 21st when they take on Delta.
I thought maybe the circus was in town or something. You know, a lot of times when the Pacers go on like a 3-game road trip, or a 3-week road trip, it's because the circus is in town.
So Guerin Catholic still has some work to do here. And a whistle and a foul away from the ball, and that's going to be against, looks like it's going to get Gustin with it. Or no, it's going to be Sims. So that'll be his third and the team's fifth.
Yeah, just a little too much contact on Grissom. There's been a lot of contact on Grissom.
And Grissom tries to get it off the inbound again, but a little too close to the rim, and the rebound to the hands of Dunham.
Yeah, he actually bounced that off the back of the defender and then tried to reset his feet.
So we have 1 minute to go. Loose ball fought for, and it's Parker going down low. Can't tie the game back up. Grissom tries to get the putback. Aiden gets the rebound and the whistle, and it's going to be a jump ball. And Guerin Catholic gets the benefit of the possession arrow this time.
Just absolutely frantic pace right there, man. I tell you that, watch this thing. We got guys on the floor. It's like it's a football game. We got shots at the rim that don't go. Good defense. Again, the balls, don't put it on the floor. He loses his balance.
Etchison gets the inbound.
Etchison has not scored tonight.
Parker pulls up from inside the elbow. A big shot there from Parker.
Clock runs, 33 seconds to play. Tie ball game. Obviously, Pendleton would like to take the last one if they can. If you're Guerin, I think you go ahead and extend the pressure, bring it out, don't let him just dribble the clock. Yeah, the coach is asking for him to come out. He wants him to start the 5-second count.
Candiano with it. Over to Sims. 16 on the clock, and a foul there by Sorensen. And quite honestly there, Jim, that's probably not that bad of a call right there to at least put them at the line, make them earn their shot. Actually, no, they get to take the inbound here, so it stops the clock.
Neither team even really close. And it's tough to inbound the ball on the side here, so neither team really even close to the bonus, both with 5.
Gustin finds Candiano. 9 seconds left in the ball game. And now a whistle and a timeout called by Pendleton Heights.
See if it's going to be a full or a 30 here.
And I believe that is their full and a final timeout, I believe. And so you have 6.2 seconds left here. Jim Leisure, needless to say, you need a big play. If you're Pendleton Heights, you have the basketball, and I would be probably remiss to say that they're probably looking to put it in the hands of one Jamison Dunham.
100% of the time, I've always said in these situations, you want the ball in the hands of your best player. Tonight, though, Cannons has been an option, and Gustin has been an option. Now, I'm still 85% sure it's going to be Dunham. But you know what? Again, what this game has shown Coach Ballard, and honestly his kids, these kids got to believe. They got to believe in the system. And what he has shown them tonight is we're more than just Jamison Dunham and setting screens and him having the ball the whole time. And I know I've been advocating of that all night. That's because when I saw them last week, I honestly thought that was their only option. Tonight, Knitz and Gustin have been forces. Don't forget Candiano. He's a quarterback of the football team. Again, if you want the ball in the hands of a guy who can make something happen, Candiano is going to take it out of bounds. They want him because they know he's going to make a good decision.
So he'll be facing up here against Aiden Cannon.
Cannon going to use every bit of his height there.
And so here we go. Candiano to take the ball out. He has to find somebody, finds Sims, he gets it. He goes along the baseline looking underneath. Candiano has it, shot up, doesn't go inside, and we are going to overtime.
Well, it wasn't pretty. Obviously, that's not the way you draw it up, but you did get a shot, and it was from a kid, Candiano, that you can count on in a clutch situation. You see the replay here, the inbound almost stolen.
And Caden Sims, he had the right idea. Knitz just couldn't quite connect with it.
Yeah, and there's Candiano's about, 12-footer or so. And then after that, it's just a scrum for the ball as the clock expires.
And so now we go to a fifth period. It's going to be a 4-minute overtime period here. Again, alongside Jim Leisure here, I'm Kurt Darling. And so, Jim, now it's basically a whole new ball game here. You have 4 new minutes. The fouls still stay put, and the possession arrow changes yet again here. Needless to say, you got to ask a lot out of your kids here if you're both coaches to just go 4 extra minutes.
Yeah, actually, I think they do jump it in overtime, so the possession arrow will stay where it's at, yeah. This is one of the few times in American basketball, I guess, unless the only league in the world that still does jump balls is the NBA. And you would think that would be the league where it would be less likely. Because in the NBA, if you got the ball underneath, you call timeout, you get it at half court. You automatically advance it. So if you're going to play and that's just all for scoring. That's just so teams can, get 112 points a night. You would think the NBA would be the first league in the world that would not jump.
And so most of the starters for Pendleton Heights that started the game are still out there. Sans Caden Sims, he came off the bench. He's going to be starting the overtime period. Meanwhile, the starters remain the same here outside of Lucas Parker for Guerin Catholic, as well as Matthew Etchison, who started the game. Again, Gustin versus Cannon, and Pendleton Heights comes right out of the gate with it.
They had the play set up. Unfortunately, it just wasn't a good enough tip. And they were going to do the old tip it to the first guy you see who hits a streaking guy going to the bucket.
Caden Sims tries to scoop it up and scores right there.
Huge bucket for the sophomore.
And Caden Sims, all of his points have come either in the fourth or in this overtime period now. Working inside to Grissom. He can't finish. Dunham comes away with it. And Jamison Dunham working with Etchison on him.
Etchison needs to get just a foot closer to start that 5-second count.
Nice play inside to Candiano. 4 quick points here for Pendleton Heights to start this overtime period.
Nice cut by Candiano and nice entry pass to him.
Inside of 3 minutes. 3 ball from Parker. He's been good in that regard to the second half. No dice there. And blocked again by Gustin. 5 blocks tonight for him. Dunham on the other side can't get the shot to fall to draw the end one. Instead, he gets 2 shots off of the foul.
Yeah, I don't know if we could see Coach Adam Ballard there on the sidelines as that ball was coming up the floor. He looked like a third base coach. He's winding his arm. Go, baby, go. He just wanted somebody to take it to the rim.
And so this will put Dunham at the foul stripe here, as you see Coach Adam Ballard getting a workout as he this evening.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, man, I'm too old to be working this hard.
Meanwhile, Dunham has not been at the foul stripe since the second quarter, and he buries that free throw. He is now 2 for 3 tonight. And as their best three-point shooter, he's only shooting 67% on the season from the foul stripe this season. But he nails both of them right there. And just like that here, Jim Leisure, it's a 6-0 run to start this overtime period for Pendleton.
Well, you're going to look for Cannon underneath, or you're going to look for Grissom out top, and that's where he's got the ball.
2.5 minutes. Grissom. And goes hard down, and they're going to get an offensive foul on Grissom right there, and he is not happy with that one as he collided with Candiano.
That was a player control foul, and basically what that means is he's just out of control. We got a great shot of the replay here, and that's a really good call. That's Candiano. Man, he's so smart.
He puts himself in all of the right positions.
Yep. He's just a smart kid. Like I said, he's a quarterback, and that's a good call. The Guerin fans to our left don't like it, but
so 2.5 minutes to go here. And Knetz will take the inbound. And Candiano. And Pendleton Heights has just shown a lot of poise here in this overtime period after being punched in the mouth the entire fourth quarter. And Gustin just keeps pouring it on here for the Arabians.
Really great spacing that time by Pendleton, and that's what allowed Gustin to drive the lane.
Grissom for a long three. And that's just off to the right. Almost saved by Parker, and it goes out of play. And it's going to be a timeout called here by Guerin Catholic, it appears.
Yeah, the official is saying that the Guerin player had the ball in midair, and as he had the ball, controlled the basketball before he went out of bounds, the coach yelled timeout. So, and he was right there on top of it, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume that's exactly what happened.
And so both teams get an extra 30-second timeout here in this overtime period, and Guerin Catholic just used it.
You're going to see the replay here. So there he's got the ball, and he's in the air, and he does a little behind-the-back flip, but the coach is yelling timeout as he controlled it, so good call.
A good heads-up play there by Bob Allen. You know,
Yeah.
And of course, that's one thing to keep in mind about being a coach is that you got to be quick with it, quick on the action, even when you're on the sidelines right there.
Yeah, and again, that's when you rely on your assistant coaches to tell you every break that they can, how many timeouts you got. Coach, remember we got 2. At this point, it really doesn't matter if they're fulls or 30s. You just need timeouts when you need them to stop the clock, and in that situation to save that possession. It's a huge possession. If you don't get the ball there, Pendleton Heights goes down and hits another one. I mean, you're in big trouble. You're down 10, but possibly 11 with under 2 minutes to go. So nicely done by the coach.
So a quick check at the game reset right now. The possession arrow favors Guerin Catholic at the moment. 17 fouls for Guerin, 5 for Pendleton Heights. Sorensen off of the inbound has Chandler. He loses his shoe, and so they're gonna.
So he stepped on the line.
He stepped on the line anyway, but still he gets a little bit of a flat tire right there. He was hobbling off of the court earlier in the ball game. He may have loosened his shoe or something, but you just see it just comes right off of his foot.
No, he traveled.
And then he traveled.
Yeah.
So either way, it's a turnover. So Chandler comes back out of the ball game.
Of course, it's hard to keep your foot or your footing when you have a sweaty sock
on this hardwood floor. That's certainly glossed over. Guerin Catholic has yet to score in this overtime period. The game was tied at 54. It is now an 8-0 run here by Pendleton Heights since the beginning of the final 4 minutes.
Again, good spacing by Pendleton.
And underneath to Knitz. He's blocked from behind, and Sanders is going to get called for the foul. And again, just getting a little bit of a shove into the back there is Sanders as you take a look at the replay.
Yeah, there was enough, again, that hand coming forward, coming down.
And so Knitz is able to connect, and that makes it a 9-0 advantage here in this overtime period. 90 seconds left now. And Knitz cannot get the benefit of gravity right there to get the other one. Grissom. Outside to Sorensen for 3. A little too strong. Grissom with a hard offensive rebound. Gets the shot to fall, and they're going to count it and give him the and one. And that is the first bucket of this overtime period for Guerin.
Good block out there, and unfortunately the rebound just went long. Caden Sims had a fantastic block out going against Grissom, and again, unfortunately for him, the ball just went long, and Grissom was able to come up with it.
And Grissom converts the old-fashioned three-point play, but time is certainly of the essence here for the Golden Eagles. We're approaching 1 minute to go, and we have a whistle and a timeout called by Pendleton Heights.
Yeah, Sims crossed the timeline and picked the ball up. There was a trap that was inevitable there, and again, you could probably hear Coach Ballard in your living room yelling timeout, and he's trying to tell him, hey, listen, man, don't pick it up there. Pick it up before you cross the timeline. That's fine. They trap you there. You can always throw it back. When you cross the 10-second line and pick it up, we're in trouble.
And so now they have to take it out from a whole different place than where they probably would want to in this situation. So you have 65 seconds left here. What is Coach Ballard telling his team right now here? And meanwhile, you have Coach Bob Allen, a good camera shot here down low here of what they're drawing up.
Well, Coach Allen has to do two things. Number one, he has to come up with a defense to stop Pendleton, get the ball, either a turnover, pressing or whatever, trap, press. But then he's also got to draw an offensive play, too, as you see him drawing there and take the ball down and kick it back to the top of the key or the top of the arc. But no, if you're Pendleton, you want to spread the floor. You want to get great spacing. Keep in mind they're going to try to extend it. They're going to be right up in your face. They're going to start the 5-second. So don't let them do that. Let's rotate. Let's weave. Let's get the ball in some different hands. Guys, we'll take a shot if we can get a layup, but we don't really even need that. That would be the only thing, is if we just got an absolute bunny.
And Jim, you mentioned how this game, it doesn't really mean a lot in the grand scheme of things, but for the Arabians, their first win of the season is on the line right here, and they have an opportunity to get it. Double team right out of it, and it's a steal by Guerin Catholic. 1 minute to go now. Huge opportunity here for the Golden Eagles, and Grissom can't make that three-ball fall, but Etchison gets it back. Grissom fires again. This time again he cannot connect. Offensive rebound gets poked away from Baird, and some stifling defense here from Guerin Catholic.
Well, Pendleton just wants to play keep away here.
Jamison Dunham gets it across the timeline. No foul called in transition. And Dunham gets it back up top to Candiano. And Candiano is finally fouled right there. That was some pretty good keep away, I'd say, Jim, as that probably wasted a good 6 or 7 seconds that Guerin now won't get back.
Yeah, I was a little surprised they did not call the contact foul on Dunham. To me, it seemed like a pretty obvious displacement. His body moved, from the contact. Probably should have been blown dead. It wasn't. It was thrown out to Candiano at the top of the key. Now, Candiano could have caught it. There was a player open in the corner. That's one of those deals where normally we say catch the ball ready to shoot. Here you want to catch the ball ready to pass.
But now it's a free throw shooting contest as Candiano rims in and out on the 1-and-1. Both teams will be in the bonus here in just a few moments, given the fact that if Pendleton Heights is able to get another foul here. Long three from Lucas. Doesn't go. Tipped out of bounds. Guerin basketball.
Now, no doubt about it, you talked about earlier about the Pendleton kids want this win. They need this win. But had it not gone their way, they've played so much better today.
Sorensen deep for three, and he hits it. Timeout quickly called on the other side here by Pendleton Heights.
If the scoreboard is correct, Kurt, it looks like the next foul for the Arabians, the next foul on Guerin Catholic will put the Arabians on the line for 2. That helps. It takes a little bit of the pressure off the 1-and-1. And then, like you said earlier, the next foul on Pendleton will put Guerin at the line for a 1-and-1.
But still, how clutch was that three-pointer here by Robert Sorensen? There's still a little bit of time left here. Guerin can try and get a steal if they can, but they need a three-pointer to at least tie this one up here down the stretch. If not, they can try and get 2 shots if they're able to get that quickly off the ball.
Well, after the made basket, Pendleton inbounds on the baseline. The man taking the ball in can run the baseline after a made basket. I'm sure the official will remind him of such. And, again, if you got somebody tall and long that you want to guard that inbounds pass to kind of make it just a little more difficult, and then it's either going to be a trap. And again, you're trying for a steal. You're going to reach in. You're going to try to knock the ball away. And if you don't knock it away and they call a foul, so be it. But if you're Guerin, you're not just automatically fouling here necessarily. You're going to try to steal the basketball. There's a lot of time. 11 seconds is a lot of time.
And Guerin, remember, only has one more foul to pour up before they put Pendleton in the double bonus. Meanwhile, Pendleton, they certainly do not want a foul right here because the next one puts Guerin in the 1-and-1 bonus.
I thought Sanders was going to face up on the inbounder. He's not.
Candiano has to get rid of it here. Finds Dunham. He's able to get it across the timeline and is finally fouled. And so no steal by Guerin. And needless to say, if Dunham hits both of these free throws, it gets just that much more bleak here for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, it would take, again, a huge three. You got just barely enough time to get the ball down the floor and hit a three, and then you'd have to foul again if he hits these two.
And a big shot right there. Makes it a two-possession ball game now.
Got to use your legs here. You know, the kids late in the ball game, obviously they're tired. You shoot free throws with your legs. I know that doesn't make sense, but it does. You got to use your legs and shoot through the ball.
And two big free throws for Dunham. He now has 20 points on the ball game. Grissom pulls up from the elbow. That doesn't go. And time expires, and Pendleton Heights, after dropping their first 5 games in a row, they knock off the Golden Eagles to get their first win of the season.
Fantastic job for these kids. I'll tell you what, again, I say this as a coach all the time. Every day in practice, every day in a game, you get better or you get worse. This group has gotten substantially better since the last time I've seen them. Now, you know what? Enjoy it, guys. Unfortunately, it's a Tuesday night. It's on a weekend. You have the whole weekend. Now, you know what? You got to come back to practice tomorrow. So enjoy this one for about 12 hours, and then tomorrow let's get better again.
And then, of course, I mentioned the fact that this is the last home game for a while for Pendleton Heights. How big is this one? Not only just to get a win coming out of this homestand that they have, but also going into this tough road stretch that they have over the next month.
It's huge. And again, it's just one of those unfortunate things, quirks in the schedule that they're not going to be back for 5 weeks. I mean, you got time to paint the seats. You got time to do a lot of things in 5 weeks. But, yeah, congratulations, Coach Ballard. And you're right, it is a big deal to get this win at home before you go on the road. But you got to build on it. You know what? I can't remember who you said they play. You know, again, it doesn't matter who they play because right now you're playing Pendleton. It's about Pendleton getting better. And if they get better, they'll be in a position to win.
Meanwhile, Guerin Catholic, they'll travel back home to take on Heritage Christian this Friday. That one will be on at 7:30 tip-off as Guerin Catholic drops to 3-2 on the season. Well, Jim Leisure, it's been a pleasure working with you again tonight, my friend.
Lots of fun tonight. I enjoyed this ball game a heck of a lot better than I enjoyed the last time I saw this green and white team.
Indeed. Well, a big win for Pendleton Heights here tonight, and definitely a good one here for the Arabians. Final score once again, 65-60. The Arabians knock off Guerin Catholic. Alongside Jim Leisure, I'm Kurt Darling saying so long till next time. You've been watching IHSAA basketball here on 9 Star TV.
I always like those games.